Glasses adjusted. Fantastic. Morning, everybody. My name is Curtis, and here we go. Today is a special, magical day. I guess I'm going to put the word day there. That's not. Today's topic is things that make you go, yeah, I think it is. It's things that make you go, did I just hear that? I think that I did. I feel louder than I've ever felt in my life. Even the microphone looks like it's, but I know I'm going to make a little baby adjustment here. Today, I spent the day terrified, for one. And I mean, hey, how's that different from any other day? Normal average every day, like, hey, I'm afraid, I'm nervous. It's just normal every day, I'm afraid, I'm nervous type of stuff. Like, that doesn't really count. There are other things in the world where it's like, I am absolutely terrified to find out about or to do or whatever. And today was one of those days where, for the past, it feels like forever, but it was probably only like maybe a week. Uh, I felt like I don't know, like a spider was living or laying eggs or having parties in my ear. It wasn't a raucous adventure with music and fun and an Osmosis Jones battle. More so, it was just the pressure of how many spiders are in there. Why is there so much pressure in my ear? Why can't I hear anymore? And it started off feeling like, oh, I was just on a plane, or hey, I had some sinus pressure, maybe because, again, going through a lot of things, dealing with some things, and sometimes you end up just sitting there having a conversation about, I think, this is okay, and we're doing good, and blah, 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 and you're still like, hey, I feel good, let's cry about it, or I feel bad, let's cry about it, and the last little while, it's like, hey, maybe there's been enough crying to keep me completely stuffed up for a little while. But also, did I get some sort of infection? Maybe I got an infection. I'm not being a hypochondriac. Literally, like, oh, I can't hear. Like, I can't hear from this ear now. And all right, that's it. Like, I'm not waiting till after the weekend. Like, the pressure is starting to hurt right about here, like right behind my eye and down into my jaw. So does that mean like that's the infection spreading, right? Like this is that thing where they'd say like, I can't believe you didn't go in before that when you couldn't hear. You waited till it started to hurt, but it was like that was the next day. Like it was like, hey, I can barely hear, but if I do this, then I can kind of hear it open up and something happens instead of, yeah, that's dead silence. That is dead silence now. I'm I'm terrified. I can't lose. I mean, uh, how do I? Ooh, how do you edit a podcast? How do you do a podcast? How do you have podcast fun when half your hearing's gone? And I did a few of these shows last week when my hearing was just like, oh, I can barely hear, and I'm just like, I feel like I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying. I can't hear it. I don't know what's happening. And now like just over the past few days, it's like, okay, I this is insane. I only need to put one headphone in at work today, while the other half of my head feels like, should I jam a fork in my eye to relieve some of this pressure? Because what's going on? So I spend the day thinking, hopefully it's just an infection that's not gone too far where I'm going to lose my eye and or my hearing, because both, like, that's the worst. So let's hope for that, one, or two. Uh, you know what? If there's a nest of spiders in there, I'm fine with that as long as, hey, we got them out. We got them out. They weren't living in there and doing stuff. They were just like, it was just a big egg sac. Maybe the mother spider's still in there and it's not poisonous. It didn't bite and it's not going to bite. But check it out. We got it. Like, ding, 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 in that little tray. All right, now go burn that or whatever. And I can go on with my life with like the story of the time there were spiders in my ears. I don't want that story. I don't need that story. But that and the infection that antibiotics will very quickly get out of here, fix within a week or so. Those are front runners, And then of course the third one is like, oh, there's a big tumor in there, right? Like it's a big tumor, pressure tumor. And so on the next show I do is, hey guys, hey, hmm, hmm, this is how many episodes that the doctor said I have until I either lose my hearing or my vision, or my head turns into a tumor and I die. So of course, finally go in to the clinic, and it's a wonderful place. It's still better than outpatients, where it's like, I won't go to outpatients on the weekend. Like, it's probably just an infection. Everybody calm down. But then you sit at your desk all day trying to use your imagination, and it's like, I can't. I just got to make a steampunk building that's kind of like a Mayan temple. You know how sometimes you just make a steampunk Mayan temple, and also figure out like what does this 3D guy do in this other country, because he doesn't know what he's gonna do next. Like, well, there's no robots for him to do yet. Can he do no, he can't. He won't do the town. Awesome. So then I don't know. What are the other? Give me some more options, and then I'll pick one of those. I don't care what he does. He already said he won't do the buildings, and I want the buildings done. So whatever. Huh? Some contracts you're just writing out. I'm a horrible person. No. So whatever. Just trying to figure out like, what do we get? What do we do next? Like, what do we do next? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Things are crazy sometimes, and it's just like we don't actually have a list of things to do. We just have a lot of things to get done, and it's being organized right now, but not by me. So, what else you got? That thing? Excellent. There's always something else. Have them do that. Fantastic. And then find somebody to make buildings for me. I really want to see these buildings. I want them to be awesome. I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. And all these at the same time, it is like, hey, and what about this? Like, what about having sound travel towards my head makes my eye hurt because it hits whatever tumor is in here, and the vibrations and the pressure is just like, why don't you just jam a fork in your eye right now? Like, why don't I just jam a fork in my eye? I got some soup in my little cupboard here on my desk. I could heat that up, and I could pour that in my eye, just for the sake of feeling a different kind of pressure, or for the sake of going, hey guys, yeah, I went nuts. I'm gonna go to the hospital and deal with going nuts. Goodbye. Also, might be spiders in my head. I don't know. See you later. Instead, like the consummate worker that I am, I sat there and kept doing things with my imagination, because odds are if I went home or was just like, I'm done, I can't focus, I can't concentrate, I'm gonna go crazy, I would still just sit and doodle and draw anyway. So I might as well, like, I'm literally doing concept art right now, so it's like, here's some pen sketches. Yeah, they don't look like much, but these are what my ideas look like right now, and tomorrow I'll flesh them out even more and put color on them and all that stuff. But today, the thought of lines plus color, again, it's just like, nope. Everyone's asking for too much, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some terrible news at the end of the day, and I can't handle that. So that's how Game Studio works. Talk about making games, in case I didn't mention what I'm so upset about while I'm using my imagination. So I'll get through to the end of the day, and finally it's like, all right, cool. Clinic opens 20 minutes ago. See you guys later. I'm going to go and find out if it is spider eggs, or hopefully an infection, fingers crossed, or something worse. Goodbye. Like, wait, what? Don't say that. Like, sorry, that's where my mind is. See you later. Hopefully. Maybe I won't go into a deep, dark depression after this. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's great news. So finally get there. Sit down. I'm number 7. Number 7. I've never gone there and been number 7. It's always like 27, and why are there so many people here? All of you people at the clinic clearly just have a cold or a flu. Get some cold or flu medicine and some rest. Unless you're here specifically because you need a note from your doctor to actually get some rest because you work 24 hours a day and you can't. And I understand that. I get that, but most of it was like, you clearly just have a regular cold. Just go to bed and get some Gatorade. That's all he's going to tell you to do. and then cold medicine that helps you sleep while some soup and some food. Anyway, this time it was like, everybody here seems like they're here for some sort of reason that you can't, take care of just with $5 at the regular drugstore. And again, and I'm also only number 7. So a guy comes over like, is this seat taken? Not at all. Go nuts. Go crazy. And waiting for number 7 to be called. And he immediately is just like, hey, so it's super cold outside. It's crazy cold outside. And as much as I don't really enjoy talking about the weather, I already know, I know all the things that, like, well, particularly strange old men talking about the weather. That's not a thing I go looking for or try to instigate. So specifically, it's just like, all right, here we go. Like I know like it just rolls out. And then once I finish saying, I'm just like, what just happened? Who said that and why? And again, just the like, yep, it's been real cold. Like, any day you don't got a shovel is a day you don't got a row. Like, what are you talking about? Doesn't matter. Just saying all the things that relate to either being buried in snow or rain or being blown away by the wind. And all right, that's cool, whatever. I ran into somebody else and they were telling me like, yeah, the wind was crazy today. So I took it like the crazy double-handed super kite. Like, everybody has very different lives. The fun old guy, after we go through the weather, he tells me that I don't know, crazy story, amazing story. We won't go into it because we're here to talk about me and whether or not I can hear ever again. And he says, yeah. So he's like, I was going out with this woman. Oh, okay. I guess we're on that level of friendship already. And I was carrying some groceries there. I was just getting out of the car, so I had like 2 handfuls of groceries, and she keeps pushing me up against the car, like, come on, like push back, like I dare you to push back. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And she pushes and keeps pushing me, and eventually I'm just like, all right, like don't. And I kind of like, you know, give her a little shove or whatever. I don't push her even close to how she was pushing me. I just like push her away, like stop this, like don't try to bring groceries in, like let's have a good time. And she kind of like, oh, tumbles to the ground, like that's weird, why did you just do that? Anyway, uh like the next day she calls the police and charges him with assault. Okay, that's nuts if you're telling the truth, of which I honestly assume, because he was like, because I just don't. He's like, I just don't understand. He's like, he leans in and gets real quiet in a place where it's already super completely quiet and not that big. So no matter how quiet you whisper, you can never ever whisper quiet enough that everybody here can't easily hear you. They simple. So he he whispers like, and I went to bed with her that night. Like that night, I'd already like I did it. Like, okay, so she was cool with everything. There was no like, awesome. Is this over now? Like I cannot wait any longer for my number to be called. What's happening? These what? I don't need to know these things. So then turns out it costs yeah, he's like, what, there's nothing you can do. He's like, I can't afford to fight this in court for the amount of money that would cost and the amount of time. So it is just like, all right, yeah. He's like, I did, like I pushed her down, but it's not assault like she says. Like it was, she what I thought she was kind of joking around, I guess. I don't know what the deal was. I still like more or less ask her, but she's saying this, so what do I do now? Like, do I go to jail? Like, I don't know. And then it's like, yeah, you cost like $5,000 in lawyer fees and fines and whatever. And then she keeps showing up all the time, and everybody else stops talking to her. And he said, there's like this, the local dance she goes to all the time, and nobody will dance with her because people are afraid, because that's her thing. Is like, oh, I'm gonna find a reason to make it look like you hurt me, but I don't understand, other than like that, like that's pure like Joker levels, uh just psychotic behavior. um because in Canada, can't like sue somebody for like $1 million. Like that's not a thing. Like there's just like, oh, this happened. They pay the $250 fine and or do community service, whatever it is. Like you don't get anything from suing people at all. Like that's not a thing. Ah, anyway, my number got called and he started reading a book and everything was great until they called my name and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not here to worry about the stories and sex lives of strangers. I'm here to find out about this. Let's watch a cartoon. And we're back. Um, on the, I don't know, just kind of tail end of that last story, I have a friend who had a friend that she was like staying with for a few minutes, and that friend's kid went next door to play with the other kid of the same age, and then when that kid came home, it like had a scrape on its knee or something, as kids, I don't know, normally do when they come home from playing. That's what, it's just a fact. I don't know. Even I, who did everything I could to avoid scrapes and scratches, still came home with scrapes and scratches. It's just, you can't not. It happens. Kids fall, they run through bushes. And the mom was like, well, nope, that's it. Like, calling the cops. And my friend was like, nope, for what? No, you're not. Don't do that. Why would you do that? Nothing happened. They're just gonna say the kids were playing. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go to Eastside Mario's because there's no legal thing here. You're right. You're right, friend. As the crazy, clever mom, I know what to do. I'll go over there. I'll fall down the stairs. I'll hurt myself, and then I'll charge them for, negligence for hurting me with their faulty stairs or something. Don't do that even more so. Like that's you're gonna go hurt yourself, and this is for vengeance. Like this is straight up revenge. Like if you didn't watch before the cartoon, strange lady, you're not gonna make money. They'll maybe pay your medical bill, but we're in Canada. It's already paid for. So you're just deciding, hello, I'm admitting to my friend I'm crazy and I'm going to get crazier as time goes on. Would you like to encourage me and join along, or would you like to tell me to stop and that it's wrong? And she convinced her that no, don't do that, it's wrong, and got through to her. And magically, that's one of those crazy stories that didn't end in the craziest way possible, which is, oh, and then she died. Whenever you're thinking about a weird vengeance, I'm gonna hurt myself story, the other version of story where it's, hey, I tricked him and we got the money, or vengeance is, or oh man, Terry tried to get some vengeance over there, but he straight up got killed, like all on his own. Like I tried to make it, but nope, didn't work. So doctor finally calls me in, and I'm just like, I have no idea. It was like it's hurting by my behind my eye now. Like that's definitely an infection, right? Either way, I don't want to speculate. I don't know anything. I just know that like this is just feeling a lot of pressure there today. But maybe it's nothing. Like maybe you can tell me it's nothing. And like I've tried everything. Like there's uh, hydrogen peroxide and a little warm water, and you're supposed to like douse that out, and it gets any ear. If it's a wax buildup, that will break that down and get that out of there, no problem, no problem. And mineral oil, a little bit of that, same deal in your ear. Oh, look at all that stuff that came out. It just broke it up and it all fell out. No big deal. Like over in minutes. I even went so far as to do a product review right now here on the show. Today's product is something that definitely doesn't do anything like at all. It's called It's called Wax Vac, and oh, let me get it close to the camera. Lights, and that's in reverse. Don't worry about it. It's even got this little cross on it, so it makes it seem like it's a medical device when it's clearly not. And I thought, like, it's like from the commercial, from the box, like, well, that doesn't work. That definitely doesn't work. If it has enough suction to pull stuff out, then it probably has enough suction to tear the little stirrup and hammer and anvil and drum bones slash flap of skin out, right? Like it'll definitely just pull all of that out, and there's just no way around that. Or it has no power whatsoever, and it's just a thing that you're poking yourself in the ear with for a minute and then going, why did I spend $12 on this? But because it was like, I can't hear very well at this point. Why not? I'll break it up with the hydrogen peroxide, and then I'll vacuum it out. It has to have at least enough power. I don't care if the motor gets ruined because it's not a shop vac, wet dry. I don't care. Like I just needed to get this out now, and maybe this will be my miracle of the day. Maybe sometimes you can have a miracle. So I came home and I rinsed through my ear, and I turned this on and I put it in my ear. And it felt like nothing. It felt like nothing because it's just, there's no sound, there's no nothing. It's just like, is there any feeling in my ear? Is this on? Hello? Hello? I need this. You're no help. This is no help at all. This is no R2 unit. So then I put it in my ear that I can hear out of. And I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, that feels like something's happening. And then on the commercial, they're like, oh, and then you just open it up. Oh, and look at all the wax that comes out. There's so whoa, nothing. I've never seen anything in this, and you never will. I might try to use it. I might try to use it as a keyboard. Holy snaps! I cannot talk today. That's what happens when you go deaf. As a keyboard vacuum and see if it will suck anything up, like any little tiny bit of dust, then it will be worth anything. It just has to work once. Because it doesn't. It doesn't. Product review, it doesn't. And I mean, who else besides, like I have to have just bought the only one that anybody's ever bought because it clearly, obviously, is not a thing that works. I mean, obviously, look at it. Look at it. Don't look at it. Forget about it. Wipe it from your mind. That's not the droid you're looking for, all right? You want any other droid except that one. So I tell him, yeah, I tried everything. Like it's clean. Like last few times, like nothing. Like there's nothing in here. So it has to be beyond, my reach of Q-tipping and vacuuming and dousing with the whatever. So like I don't know. So that's where we end with the spider and the tumor or the infection. Like, so doctor, what happens now? He's like, well, first I'll start with the good ear. Like, of course. Why not? Might as well give me some good news first, which is everything's fine here. And he looks in there, and it's just like, that feels way further than I've ever put anything in my ear, because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure we're constantly being told, don't jam anything in your ear. Q-tips do not belong in your ear. The one place they do not belong, even though it seems that like that's what they're designed for, is in your ear. Just don't. Dangerous. Blah 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 blah. Bling 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 blah. Same with the vacuum thing. It's just like, this feels like it's too far, but I'm taking my chances today. It's like very soft, little tipped thing, so I don't think it's going to break anything, and the suction doesn't feel strong enough to ruin anything. He takes his little stethoscope thing, and I feel like, oh, you're definitely going to poke my ears out, right? Like that's it. Like this is way too deep. You are not a hummingbird, and I'm not a plant. So he goes through and he's just like, yep, all good. Like, okay, oh, that one sounds perfectly fine. And then he looks in there, and I can't hear or feel any of it. And he's just like, oh, yeah. And he starts like getting a thing or whatever. He's like, no problem. Yeah. He's like, it's just wax or whatever. Like, how? He's like, yeah. He's like, I can't even see your eardrum. Like, you can't see what are you talking about? What are you like? This isn't a thing. Like I specifically like I've written pages like somewhere between I'm gonna say 2 and 12 pages on this fear specifically. Like, what are you saying? That my bizarre fear of like what if earwax was like this is no, that's real. That can't be real. I would have heard about this definitely. Definitely sometimes somebody will be like, "Hey, did I ever tell you about this?" And nobody ever has. They don't teach you how to do your taxes in school. They teach you other math instead, and they don't teach you that sometimes a lot of people apparently get wax buildup, and I'm guessing that they're just walking around going, I don't hear very well. I'm just not one of these people that hears. And and the doctor was like, yeah. He was like, it's actually pretty good. Like every so often, like you really should just get it drained. Like not drained, but like cleared out. Um, again, what are you talking about? How often do I have to go to the doctor to learn everything there is to know about general maintenance? Like I feel like I'm a clean person. I just brought a vacuum for my ears. That's how crazy clean I'm trying to make things. I'm leaning beyond the microphone, making it useless. Let's calm down. So yeah, and he gets this thing that's like it's a big shiny metal cylinder, and like it looks like a brass knuckles at this end, and a like a let's call it a syringe at the other end, and it looks deadly. Like if you were in a scuffle with a Jason Voorhees type of character in a doctor's office, and that was within reach, you could probably use that to never kill him, of course, but like do some damage that would, eventually just give him the idea to grab it and kill you with it. But whatever, you can't survive a Jason Voorhees. So if you're being chased by a regular murderer, that'll help you survive. So he takes this thing and it's just like, yeah, I'll just have to have a device just for this. Like, and I'm picturing like I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like some sort of pickaxe type thing. It's like, what is this? He's like, so this happens. I might have to put some kind of drops in there that you'll have to deal with. Um, whatever. So I'm just like, okay, so far still not bad. Like I was picturing you have to take this antibiotic, it's gonna make you feel terrible, and eventually it will start working and you'll feel okay again in like a week or two. And I really want to feel good now. This is awful. He was like, no, I'll just do this. He's like, and lots of people do this. He's like, I just did it this morning. It's a great thing to do. Like, what? What is about to happen? He's like, and it doesn't hurt. When the first ish thing you say is it doesn't hurt, that means it does. So what do you mean? Like, I don't know. He's like, if it hurts, tell me. Like, cause it shouldn't hurt. Like it's crazy. Like it's a bit jarring and weird. But he's like, but it doesn't hurt. Like, oh, okay. So I feel like somebody's putting some sort of metal thing in my ear, which feels dangerous and awful. And then it's like, okay, I assume he's either gonna it's either gonna suck something out or he's gonna spray something in. I think it's gonna be the spray, and you know, everybody knows you gotta be super gentle with your ears. Don't push anything in there too hard. Don't hit anybody on the sides of the ears. They're super gentle in there, like just dainty, dainty as it gets. And then when you like take a hose and you just think it's gonna go psh, and a little water's gonna come out, but instead it goes psh, whoa. Well, this is like a high pressure hose. You got some crazy pressure coming out of your house, Steve. Like, oh yeah, didn't it's the best. I love showers in my place. Great water pressure. The hose feels like a power washer. It felt like that, except in the place where I'm not supposed to have that type of pressure. And then and it's just like whoa, 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 whoa. Like, okay. He first made me put on like a smock thing and hold one of those things that you put your bullets in or people pee into when they're in the hospital. I'm like, this isn't like I have no idea what's about to happen right now. And then that was crazy. And he was like, oh, there we go. We got some. And he like holds it out, and the thing is like mostly full of water, and there's like a chunk of well, look, I don't. It looks like bone. Like it looks like a shard of bone. That's I don't know. I want to say like almost this size of my pinky. Like where's that amount of space doesn't exist inside my ear canal. Like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. What are you saying? Like, no, there's plenty of room for something like this. Like it was really in there. Like how did I live? He was like, everybody's like so many people. He was like, they just don't realize. Like, okay, cool. I still can't hear, so maybe I gotta wait for like the water to drain a bit. And he's like, oh, let me get the rest there. Like there's not like there's not more. Like this is just a psh, and it'll get the moisture or whatever. He hits it again, and then there's another like almost as big as the last one. Like there we go. That's the rest of it. And my ears just like I can hear like the water like draining and moving out. I can see another chunk of it like way over on the like the end of the paper that's rolled out on the hospital, like the doctor bed thing. Like awesome. So he definitely has whatever came out of my ear on him. Like if that was there in the negative space that Dexter would be analyzing is all kinds of whatever liquids and waxes that shot out of my ear on him. And that poor man, that's awful. And so he does this to people all the time apparently, and that's okay, I guess. Within minutes, it was just like whoa, 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 whoa. Shh, shh, shh. Is this how loud I am? I am incredibly loud. I'm really sorry. I'm getting an echo. Like I'm getting an echo. Everything feels so loud and crazy. I must have been the loudest person in the last few days because this is insanely loud to me. I've never heard so well in what I can remember is years. And then all of a sudden I'm gone. Like, thank you very much. Like, I definitely don't hear out of this ear as well as I hear out of this ear now. This is insane. And I stopped at the store and I started to say something and I was like, oh, sorry. I realized I haven't really said much and I'm just I can't control my own volume or register what's the correct volume now because I've never heard like this before. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I got to go back and do that again soon. It's been like a few months. Like, what? I don't know you, lady, but you've known about this and it's not posted on the wall or the door? Hey, go get your ears irrigated. The only thing I've ever heard was like, hey, you ever get your ears candled? No, I've never set my ears on fire. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's a thing they do at the mall, like hairdressing places. They light the candle and it's a becomes a vacuum and you can see it and it's like this big like pile. Like there's no way the thing you're describing isn't real. And then I saw another version of that today where it's like, oh, it is real. So definitely get your ears candled if that's still a thing. If not, ask your local doctor. Can you clean my ears for me? I'm definitely not as good at it as you are with your crazy ear machine, or somebody should put one of those on the market and not don't don't buy this. Like don't buy this. I'm going to say right now, most if not all keyboard vacuums are garbage and they don't suck up anything. This definitely is worse than those, and I think you can get a keyboard vacuum at the dollar store for $1 to $3. And be good. Be careful. Don't stab yourself in the ear. Don't stab me always, but careful around your ears. And good morning, everybody. Click on my butt or Ripley's butt to subscribe. Click on my butt. Click on my butt. Click on my butt.